2026年4月1日、日本時間3月31日、米国時間、冷たい雨がグラウンドを覆ったその夜、ドジャース対ガーディアンズの一戦は、ただの一勝以上の意味を帯びていた。静かに、しかし確かに、新しい物語の扉が開かれた。その中心にいたのは、大谷翔平だった。この日、大谷は2026年シーズン初登板を迎える。滑りやすいマウンド、安定しない足場。それでも彼は一切動じることなく、6回無失点、10奪三振という圧倒的な投球で試合を支配した。雨音の中で積み重ねられるアウトの一つ一つが、彼の覚悟と進化を物語っていた。試合後、大谷は穏やかな表情で語る。こういう環境をシーズンの早い段階で経験できたのは大きい。結果に酔うことなく、経験として蓄積するその姿勢は、彼が常に、先を見据えている証だった。今年は昨年よりもリラックスして投げられているという。しかし同時に、まだ改善の余地があるとも口にする。その言葉には、終わりなき成長への意志が宿っていた。ガーディアンズの左打者中心の打線に対しては、捕手いる、スミスに配球の多くを委ね、自らは実行に集中する。その静かな信頼関係が、完璧に近い投球を支えていた。監督でブロバーツは言う。彼は本当に投げることを愛している。そして、その愛ゆえに、誰よりも自分に厳しい打者としての華やかさの裏で、大谷は投手として孤独に、そして執拗に完成度を追い求めている。打線はまだ爆発していない。それでもマックス、マンシーの一発を含め、必要な得点を積み重ね、勝利を手繰り寄せた。この日の勝利は、力でねじ伏せるのではなく、静かに相手を封じ込める、支配によるものだった。雨はやがて止む。しかし、この夜に始まった流れは、簡単には止まらない。新たな時代は、もう動き出している。その中心には、揺るぎなく、大谷翔平がいる。
Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartwick alongside Jerry Hairston Jr. Nomar Garcia Park. I think the rain is bringing out some extra vibes right now. The fans are kind of loving it. You know, it's fun to be out playing in the rain and singing in the rain. And Dodgers got it done tonight. They pick up a 4-1 win over the Guardians. Shohei Ohtani was fantastic, and they had just enough offense, some clutch RBI knocks late in this game to kind of put things away.
Not just singing in the rain, winning in the rain. Dodgers really played good baseball, led by Shohei Ohtani. Outstanding job on that mound. Really looked sharp. The offense did wake up late. Max Muncy hit a tape measure shot. Love the way Tasker Hernandez swung that bat tonight. Good all-around win.
Yeah, the offense scored enough runs, but it was really about the pitching today. Shohei really did a tremendous job going 6 scoreless, and then you have Vesia coming in, and you got Dreyer coming in, and I'll tell you, it's tough for any closer out there when it's a non-save situation, but still got the job done. Tremendous job by the pitching staff today. It was a good victory.
Great bounce-back win for the Dodgers, 4-1 over the Guardians. You mentioned Shohei Ohtani. His first start of 2026, he was outstanding. 6 shutout innings, and right now he's standing by with Kirsten Watson.
Shohei's 6 shutout innings just on your season opener. When it comes to being on the mound, how good did it feel just getting back out there and competing as a pitcher in a meaningful baseball game?
6回投げて、ピッチャーとして、シーズン迎えて気持ちよかったですか？
いい状態でマウンドに上がれたんですけど、ちょっと天候もあって難しいマウンドではあったので、逆に言えば1試合目にこういう経験ができて、いいスタートを切れてよかったのかなと思ってます。
Felt really good going into the game. The condition, today's weather wasn't great, but it was a good thing to experience this early in the season. So I'm going to charge it to experience.
It seemed like you had your entire pitch mix tonight. How did you find just navigating through the Guardians lineup?
全球種結構使えてたと思うんですけども、このガーディアンズの打線どう投げ切ったんですかと。
左バッター中心だったので、配球に関してはウィルの方に若干任せ気味に投げてはいたので、それにしっかり応える形で全球種しっかり投げれたのは良かったかなと思ってます。
A lot of lefties in the lineup, and I really, let Will Smith take charge in terms of pitch calling, and I focused on execution.
You were able to get on base 3 times offensively. How would you describe where you're at just this early in the season when it comes to being at the plate?
打線とか振り返ってみてどう思いますかと。
本当になんていうんですかね、向きにならずにというか、しっかりとボールは見極めて、取れるものとしっかり取っていけば、チームの打線として素晴らしいものは持っていると思うので、しっかりと今後得点につながっていくシチュエーションというのは多くなるんじゃないかなと思ってます。
I expect to have many more opportunities in general for this lineup to be able to score. So things like today is going to be a really important day to continue moving forward.
All right, Shohei, well, congratulations on this win tonight.
Thank you.
Had 10 strikeouts tonight. That means you could celebrate tomorrow. Just go to Jack in the Box. Pick up a free Jumbo Jack with a purchase of a large drink at an LA area location. Tonight it was the big show. Shohei Ohtani, he carried most of the load. He had 6 of those 10 strikeouts. He also picked up a win in his 2026 debut on the mound. And right now, let's hear more from Shohei inside talking with the media.
Shohei, how do you sort of feel just being able to have a fully built up sort of start to the season, being able to go 6 innings in your first sort of outing?
しっかりオフシーズン、スプリングトレーニング、しっかり準備期間っていうのがあって、今回6イニング投げれたっていうことに対してどう思いますかね。
まず投げれたのがすごい良かったですし、6イニング投げ切れたのもまだ良かったとは思うので、難しい天候の中でしっかりと6イニング、決まった球数の中で投げれたのは良かったのかなと思ってます。
It's good to be able to start the game, go through 6 under a limited pitch count, and even in this condition, I thought I'm going to put it, charge it to experience.
Do you feel like you're a better pitcher maybe than you were even last year? Dave said that your stuff's even gotten better than it was when you first came back.
今年の方がピッチャーとして成長して良くなっているのかなと監督がおっしゃってましたけど、
それは毎年毎年良くなるようには努力をもちろんしてるので、そうなるように努めてますし、終わった後にシーズンが終わった後に一番良かったと思えるシーズンならそれは一番いいことなのかなとは思ってます。
That's my intention every year is to be a better pitcher, better player, and I hope that at the end of the year, my intention is to be able to look back and say that was a really good pitching season.
In what way do you feel like you're better?
どのように
なんですかね、投げ心地がまずいいのが一番かなとは、去年も良かったですけど、なんていうんですかね、あまり向きにならずにというか、今日はその中でもちょっと最初の方は力入ってたなっていう感想はあるので、それが次回以降の少し課題なのかなと思ってます。
Last year I felt good, but this year I do feel a lot more loose and easy pitching overall, and looking back at today's outing specifically, that wasn't necessarily the case, so that's something I want to work on. But compared to last season, I do feel a lot loose and easy.
Well, I know just this spring, Shohei had limited starts, of course, with being away at the World Baseball Classic, but just to see where he's at this early in the year, to see how he's using his full pitch mix tonight, how would you just describe how the stuff was playing?
Yeah, I thought he was really good. It's kind of mixing everything, getting guys out, put up 6 scoreless innings. It was a really good start.
Does it look different compared to last year?
No, it's kind of the same mix. He continues to work and try to fine-tune things, but, pretty similar to last year. I only think he's getting a little better maybe, but he looks really good.
How much of a boost is it when his mix is so deep that you can go as heavily to the curveball today, or a different night could be a splitter and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of any guy. You're figuring out what's working that night. What the hitters aren't really seeing. Tonight was a curveball a little more maybe, but he was doing a good job, mixing speeds with everything, not letting him just sit on the curveball or whatever. So yeah.
The offense really hasn't gotten going since opening day. How much of that is just kind of getting your legs under you? How much is it the way that teams have pitched the last few games?
I feel like if you actually look at our bats, we're swinging at the right pitches, hitting the ball hard, some, misfortune. But yeah, it's baseball. We're not going to go out there and score 10 runs every night. We're going to have to find ways to win. That's what we've done so far this year. Even though we're not, putting up 8-10 runs a game or whatever. But that's who we are. We just go out there, figure out a way to win, and that's what we did tonight.
How tough are the conditions with the rain tonight?
Yeah, it's something we don't really have here in LA too often. I don't know. I thought it was fine. Some of the pitchers was kind of struggling to keep their footing and stuff. But guys made a good adjustment. It wasn't too bad.
From Max Muncy, he's speaking with the media.
Well, Max's first home run of the season tonight happened to be off of a lefty, limited to home runs off a lefty last year. Just what does that say to you as to kind of where your swing is at, and how good did it feel just to get that result today?
Yeah, well, I didn't have to wait till May this year, so that's it's a good start. No, I feel really good in the box. I got a lot of at-bats off lefties in spring. I think I had more at-bats off lefties than righties, actually, and I feel really comfortable up there. Some of the stuff we worked on is sticking really well right now, and just got to keep progressing, into the season.
How are you saying does this offense come together as a whole right now?
Yeah, we're still finding our stride a little bit. We've had some opportunities that we haven't cashed in, but we're putting together really good at bats, and we've just been getting pitched really tough these first couple of games. But I like the at bats that everyone's been taking, and we've been having a couple results here and there. But that's kind of baseball. You're gonna have stretches where you go off and stretches where you don't.
Have you gotten used to watching your DH and leadoff hitter throw 6 scoreless innings yet?
I don't know if I'll ever get used to that. It's pretty special. It's really hard to put into words when you actually see it in person, what he's able to do. And, really my only thought is how good is that guy going to sleep tonight?
I feel like in some ways he's gotten better on the mound.
Well, I know everyone talks about his hitting, but getting to know him over the years, he really loves pitching. Like, he loves everything about it. I think pitching is what he's really all about. And so just to see him continue to progress, it's no surprise to me at all. It's just pretty incredible.
What gave you that sense?
It just, when you watch him go about his work every single day, he's really bought into everything with pitching, his mechanics, how to attack, hitters. He just focuses on it so much, and, you can just really tell that he loves it.
Have you guys kind of been, waiting to see, a full-time, two-way version of him, these last couple of years? How much, have you guys have kind of been looking forward to kind of seeing, how a year like this will go for him?
It's definitely exciting. It's just if he's able to do it the whole year, that's just a huge boost to our pitching staff, which we already feel really good about. And I expect nothing short of almost a Cy Young out of him.
Pitch mix was good, sequenced really well. I thought Will did a great job with him. I thought the targeting, the catching of the baseball, the fingers, all that stuff was great. He used the challenges the right way, and he and Shohei were in lockstep tonight. So really good outing from Sho.
Even after such a good outing, Shohei was really focused on I want to feel more loose and easy. Just what do you take from that reaction from him?
Typical. I think for him, he's never going to be satisfied. There's always something that he can, improve on or get better at, and that's what fuels him. But it was a good outing. So I think, and honestly, I think offensively, he's taking walks, and I think he's swinging the right pitches, and those hits will start to come. But it was just a solid night.
I feel like he's harder on himself as a pitcher than as a hitter.
Yes, absolutely. And I've talked about it a lot. His demeanor when he's pitching is different than when he's just hitting, and I do think he's more critical as a pitcher, certainly.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know the answer. I think that, pitching you can dictate, and hitting you're more of a reactor to what the pitcher's doing, and so I think that. Because he's more in control with the pitching things, he thinks he can control it more, which in one sense you probably can.
How much more impressive does it make it for him to go 6 scoreless after making 2 starts in the spring, pitching in the rain, kind of everything that went in night circumstance-wise?
Pretty impressive. The conditions in we saw in his lives in Tokyo and wherever it was in Miami or pitching in Arizona, and then coming and pitching, with these conditions, he's unflappable. And obviously in that last inning, the mound started to get to him a little bit. So being able to fix it and kind of get his footing back was good to get through that Hoskins at bat. He's not a whole lot kind of affects, his mind.
You said that you'd like to, in a perfect world, mix in a 6 or 7 day schedule for Shohei, but that it's fluid. How much of that fluidity is based on Shohei himself and his performances?
Not a lot. I think that, appreciating the fact that it's a long season, and, the schedule that he's been on, his time pitching, and, I think that just kind of being mindful to give ample recovery, and he's also an everyday player. So I think that's important. So I think it's always good to hear that he feels strong enough to pitch more frequently, which is great. And at some point we might do that. I don't know when, but I think that, status quo right now is pretty good.
Do you know when he's going to start?
I don't, but I don't. It's going to be probably 6 days rest, something like that. But I'm not sure exactly what the pitching guys have in store for him.
Dave, when they throw their ace at you and he's out of the game after 4 innings, what impact do you think that had tonight?
Well, I think that he was throwing the heck out of the baseball, and I think he came out his first start, so I think they just wanted to be careful with him, appreciating the long season. So I think we caught a break, to be honest with you. I mean, the guy was throwing the baseball really well. So found a way to win a ball game, but yeah, they're taking care of their guy.
How much do you think the kind of condition of the mound and the weather had an effect on Diaz tonight?
Big time. Big time. So it was good to see him lock in once, the hit batsman, the walk. But I do think it affected him. The footing with the pitcher is everything. And then, when you're landing and you don't trust that you're not going to slide to potentially hurt yourself. So that matters. But it was good to see him lock back in.
Did you just not want to, after he got that one, just not waste that, bring in any after you guys went up for it?
Yeah, I wanted to win the game. And for me, it just, 3-4 save. Eddie is in. So it's not just padding his save statistics. So I wanted to win the game.